Now, let's get started with today's exciting show. Please welcome our show host, Sandra Spurry, Jody Rindfleisch and Mary Stella Salas.
I think we are ready to start, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here tonight. We are part of DFW Healthcare Foodies. Why? Because we love food, we love to network, and we love the fact that you're here. Where are we? Jody, where are we?
We're at the V&A Meals on Wheels office.
Where's that?
Right here where you are.
Do you know what Meals on Wheels is?
Does everybody know what Meals on Wheels is? They all know.
Isn't this a beautiful location? Over 5,000 meals leave this place every day. And those of us that are part of healthcare, we know that we serve a very neglected part of this community. So thank you for being here tonight. So we're ready to introduce some people. But before we do that, can I say a shout out to some of our sponsors tonight? Mary Stella, do you want to talk about who we have helping us with this event?
Of course. I want to give a big shout out to Town East Village, Visiting Nurses Association, Villages of Lake Highlands, and Encompass Health for sponsoring this.
All right. So I have some notes because we're getting ready to talk to the man tonight. This food that you've been enjoying, this food that I can smell, and the gentleman that's going to be talking to us about what we all love to do, enjoy food, his name is Chef Ken Patrick. And I've got my notes because he has been on the Food Network. He has been on Cutthroat Kitchen, Guy's Grocery Games, Fiery Food Challenge. He's been featured on Good Morning TV, Dallas Morning News. So let me give it up and turn it over to Chef Ken Patrick.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? How are those big little appetizers? Good? Everybody enjoying that smoked brisket slider? How about those Asian glazed ribs? Not spicy, right? Just right? Okay. What about the vegetarian pasta? How many vegetarians are in here? I knew it. Okay. All right. So I'm excited to be here. My name is Chef Ken Patrick. Sandra, thank you for your introduction. Miss Jody, thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. And I'm excited to be here tonight to, we're going to talk about burgers. I mean, it's burger season. It's grilling season. Everybody likes burgers, right? Veggie burgers too, right? Vegetarians, right? Okay. All right. I'm not a vegetarian, so. But anyway, so we're gonna cook, a couple different type of burgers tonight, and we're gonna have fun with it. And my goal is, to show you different aspect or different ways that you can, take your burger game to a different level. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, just a little couple of tweaks here and there, just from your average everyday kind of burger. So, and another thing, just real quick, I wanted to just real briefly, I used to work in healthcare for a number of years, like 14 years in healthcare. So I ran kitchens, dietary departments. I was a dietary manager for a long time. And, I was very close to the residents. So I really admire what you all do every day. And it's just a blessing to be able to bless others and care for them. So, but anyway, without further ado, I'm going to, just go through some steps and what I like to do for burgers. One of the burgers I'm going to make tonight is a very special burger. I've been making for a long time. It's like a Southwest type burger, right? So think like nachos. Think like queso, think like tortillas, right? And then think about a burger. Sounds good, right? Okay. And then we're going to kind of step up your classic American kind of cheeseburger. We're going to elevate it just a little bit. Okay, so the first thing what I want to do is, the most important thing is toasting the bun. You have to toast the burger bun. That's very important. Those little slider burgers, I even toasted those buns because I think if you skip that step, don't just open up the bag, the bun bag, and just put a burger on you know what I mean? Take the time, toast it, with some butter in the pan, some oil, whatever. Just toast it, brown it a little bit, make it happy. And then go with your burger. Yeah, you got to make it happy. You got to make the bun happy. Okay? All right, so first thing I want to do is, to get out the way, I want to toast these buns. These are some nice buns I get from a bakery called Empire Bakery. I've been for a number of years. Anybody familiar with Empire Bakery? So it's off University Drive in North Dallas. They make all of my buns. Anything I want, they make it for me. And so I like these seeded brioche buns. They look cool. And, it's kind of like nostalgic. You think about your favorite burger restaurant or whatever. They have these seeded buns, but I like the black and white sesame seeds. I think it looks cool. So real quick, just to get these buns out of the way, then we'll go into burger. I want to go ahead and get these out of the way and toast them. So basically what I'm doing is heating up a pan. I'm not using butter. You can use butter. I forgot my butter. But I have the next best thing, right? So this is like an oil that I infuse with fresh herbs. So anytime I use fresh herbs, I pick herbs and use them for like marinades or different dishes, steak, whatever. I save the stems and I get a sauce pot like this, right? And I drop all the stems in a pot, pour some canola or whatever oil you like, avocado oil, whatever, and just slowly bring it up to a simmer to infuse the oil, and then turn it off, let it sit overnight. The next day, strain it, and you got liquid gold in the bottle. I promise. This is delicious. Yeah, so basically what I want to do is toast these buns just to give them a little color, make them happy, right? And we're going to get these going. And while that's going, let's talk about the burgers. So these, I like to use 80% when you're shopping for burger meat, right? Don't buy the stuff in a tube if you don't have to. You know that tube stuff that you really don't know what's in it. You can't see it, right? So you really don't know what's in it. I'm fortunate enough because I am a chef. I like to. I have a meat grinder, and my dad actually passed a meat grinder down to me years ago, and I've been using a meat grinder to ground my own burger meat. But you don't have to do that if you don't have that. But I will suggest that when you go to the store, look for ground beef that you can see, and go for like the 80-20. And what I mean by that is 80% beef, the lean, and then 20% fat, because you want to get some fat. That's what makes the burger luscious. That's what makes it delicious. It makes it moist. It makes it juicy. One thing I hate is a dry burger, right? So you have to, just take the time and get a good quality beef. And that's what I have here. So these are 6 patties that I made. I'm going to start cooking those here in a minute once I finish these, which I'm almost done. And we'll go into the proper cooking technique for a burger. And number one, when you make a burger, also a cheeseburger especially, one thing I hate is cheese that's not melted all the way. And I'm going to show you a little trick how to get that cheese to melt all the way. So I'm going to toast these just a little bit, just to get a quick little toast on them. All right, those are done. And then I'll go into the beef patties. Everybody get a nice beverage with your some wine, some beer, some water. That's good. You can get your beer later. I understand. I'm just saying. All right. So in the pan, I'm going to go with these burger patties. This right here, I'll explain this later. That's going on one of the burgers. I think you guys heard me say queso. So that's a green chili queso that I made for the queso burger. All right, so in the pan, I'm going to start these burger patties. You'll smell it in a minute if you don't already. All right, so that's that. So these patties, if you can see them, yeah, you can see them pretty good. So these are 80-20 beef patties, which I made myself. What I do is I use a brisket, and I grind it with ground chuck and a meat grinder, and I form these patties into like a little ring mold. That's why they kind of look uniform like that, just like the slider patties. They look like a cylinder. Just my way of just keeping everything uniform. And we just kind of want to brown these a little bit on both sides. And then we'll turn them over, and then I'll show you how to finish them, and then we'll go from there. So one other thing with the Southwest burger that I mentioned, so what I like to do is I take green chilies, which are really good because I use poblano chilies. You can use Anaheim Hatch chili. Season is coming up. Very delicious, distinct chili that you can only get like once a year. They come from like Hatch, New Mexico. A lot of people don't know that that's actually a place where they come from, and they harvest them like once a year, and we get them. You can get them at Central Market. They'll even roast them for you if you like. They make great additions to like sauces, marinades, things like that. I use them a lot. I mean, I love green chilies, period. So these are just some chilies that I roasted. This is a combination of poblano chilies and Anaheim chili peppers. So roast them till the skin starts to peel. Let them cool down. Peel the skin off. Take the seeds out. Dice them up, and it's what you have right here. Just some homemade pickles. This right here, these are some charred green onions. So anything I cook, I like to add flavor. So I think by grilling things or charring things, you impart flavor into things. So I always tell people, when you have time to do something, just do it. You know what I mean? As far as cooking. So make the time just to add a few extra steps here and there to kind of kick up your recipes. So these patties, we got those going. And the key is really the key is when you're cooking burger, and obviously these probably won't cook all the way through doing the demo, but I want to just tell you a trick. The key is really to get these burgers and flip them one time, okay? And I mean that because it allows it to get a good crust on one side. You want to get a good, think about like cooking a steak, right? You know, your burgers need love too. So you got to give it, you know, kind of treat it like a steak. Get a good sear on one side, flip it over, get another good sear, turn the heat down, and just let it kind of finish in a pan, right? Okay? If you don't want to cook them in a pan in your home or a cast iron pan or whatever, cooking them outside on the grill, obviously, because it's summertime, right? We have the holiday weekend, you know, coming up. A lot of burgers going on, a lot of hot dogs, things like that. Everybody outside grilling around the pool, having a great time. Burgers are always big, like these. All right. So take your time. Just try to, you know, incorporate as much as you can in the burgers. And what you see, that green stuff on top of the burgers, because I am a little extra, so that's just a little fresh herbs. So like rosemary, some thyme, you know, just to kind of brighten it up. Okay, you don't have to do that, but there again, like I said, just that extra step. Cook your burger like cooking a steak. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of flip that, and you can kind of see it could stand for a little more crust, but I'm going to go ahead and flip Well, I'll flip that one back, turn my burner up, and we'll let them go just a little longer. We'll let these go. So back to that Southwest burger. Pickled red onions are one of my favorite, all-time favorite things to do. Great on tacos, great on burgers, great on just about like anything. You can put them on a salad, grilled fish. Tacos are amazing with this. I like grilled fish tacos with these, delicious. These are just some little blue corn chips. Like I mentioned taco, I mentioned the whole taco aspect of nacho, like nacho burger. Think that. Think like crunch factor. Think about like different textures to a burger, okay? This is just a cilantro, and this is a little chipotle mayo, same on the slider that you had tonight. So we'll put that on one of the burgers as well. And that's just honey. All right, let's check these burgers. Jack the heat up a little bit. And then one other thing too, this brisket. So what I like to do is I like to take smoked brisket. This is some smoked brisket that I made. It smoked for about 12 to 14 hours, low and slow. And what I do is sometimes when I smoke brisket, I'll have like leftover ends and pieces, right? And I'll just chop it up and I'll add it to like my ground beef mixture and make patties out of it. Like those slider patties you're eating tonight, they have smoked brisket. You probably taste like a lot of flavor to the patty itself because it has smoked brisket inside the patty. Now don't go tell everybody because everybody else will be doing it, all right? Don't go tell everybody. So what I want to do now is just give this a flip. That's what you really want right there. You see that? That looks delicious. All that is like a layer of like just flavor. Delicious. Like a steak, like a filet mignon in a pan. So we're going to get these going and flip. All right, so we got those burgers sizzling there, getting nice and happy. Put this here. And then what's a burger without bacon, right? And then another thing, too, what I want to talk to you about real quickly. Going back to these chilies, these roasted chilies right here. Another thing what I like to do is when you roast the chilies, this is like another little pro tip. Roast the chilies. Take the roasted chilies, dice them up real fine. Get you some some of these charred scallions or green onions, okay? Chop everything up real fine with some cilantro and parsley, whatever herb you like, rosemary, thyme, garlic, roasted garlic preferably. And then you add that to butter. And now you have this delicious green chili compound butter, right? So now you're getting two things out of it, right? You're getting some roasted chilies that you can use for burgers or tacos or whatever you want to do. Green chili relish, which I'm going to show you how to make for the queso burger. Or you can make green chili compound butter. And you can add this to a steak. You can put it on top of the burger, let it melt through, make it nice and delicious, which I'm going to show you how to do that. It's all about steps, all about taking the time to do things if you have the time. So, having said that, I'm just going to take a piece. This is going to be for the Southwest burger. So what I want to do is add some of that green chili compound butter. And the way you make compound butter, has anybody ever made compound butter before? So compound butter, okay. Tell us how you made it. No, I'm just playing. Just like me. So compound butter is what you do is you take just regular butter, right? And the only butter that I cook with is sweet butter. I don't cook with salted butter only because I like to control the salt level in the butter if I'm making something with it. I know how much salt is in it because I added the salt, if that makes sense. If you buy salted butter, you try to make compound butter, you add more salt, going to be too salty. And then you put it on the steak, you put it on the burger, it's just too salty. You're like, oh, man, what did I do? Well, you use salted butter and you added more salt, right? So what I like to do is I'll take it in a bowl like this. Bring your butter to room temp. Bring it to room temperature. Leave it on the counter. I promise you it won't go bad. Leave it on the counter. Let it bring it to room temp, nice and soft. And then what you do is you add anything you want to a butter. That's why it's compound. You're adding things. You're compounding it with flavor. You can add herbs. You can add garlic. You can add tarragon. I make a tarragon butter. It's good with like fish. Over a nice piece of grilled fish. It just melts right on it. It's delicious. So compound butters are game changers if you have the time to make it. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to melt. Actually, what I want to do first, I'm going to show you what I like, how I like to make cheeseburgers. I'm a 2 cheese kind of person on the patty. Any other 2 cheese? Double cheese, right? Double cheese, right? Yeah, who wants this one piece of, I mean, come on. Right. So the trick to getting that butter, to getting that cheese to melt, you can put another pan over this, right? Or you can get you like a little dome. This is like a little burger dome, right? And you just kind of put this over. You can actually add a little water under here to steam it. But I have so much oil in here, I don't need that, right? So what I want to do is kind of just add that over that, and it's going to close it, and it's going to allow, capture the steam inside of the dome to melt the cheese, because you want that cheese to melt all the way, right? So doesn't these look delicious? That green chili butter looks like a steak. I mean, you could put this on an old tire and it'll taste good. I'm serious. Like, now don't be going home doing that and blaming me, So we want to just take the time to let that cheese melt. So in the meantime, what I want to do is I'll move this brisket. This is 12 to 14 hours of love right there, right? Smoked brisket, right? All for burgers. Not really, but when I have bits and pieces, I just chop it up, because I make burgers all the time. I make sliders all the time. So I can never have enough smoked brisket laying around the house. So you see that? See how it's starting to melt? That's what you want. So I'm going to dome all 3 of them. I'm going to turn the heat down on these and just kind of let those kind of just finish, okay? Just finish. And back to those, the green chili relish. These are poblanos. These are Anaheim chilies. During the hash chili season, the hash chilies look like these, but don't taste like these. Hash chilies are 10 times, like the flavor is so distinct. It's so delicious. Every time hash chilies come here, I buy so many of them. I roast them and I dice them up, and then I freeze them in these little containers. So I have hash chilies all year round because I use them in a lot of different things, sauces, whatever. I have hash chilies all the time because people are like, how is that hash chilies? Well, do what I did, You can do the same thing. And also jalapenos. These are hot. Some of them. The bigger ones, not so much. The poblanos, kind of like a mild. It's in between. The way I like to describe it, it's in between a bell pepper and a jalapeno, kind of in the middle, right? Think of this like your starter chili. If you're just starting out with chilies, you want to experiment with chilies, it's kind of like use this as your starter before you go into anything else, like, hotter chilies, like Anaheims and the hot hash chilies. There are hot hash chilies and there are mild hash chilies. So play with this one first. All right. So this cheese, that's what we want. It's starting to get happy. Classic cheeseburger. That's looking delicious. What I want to do is I'm going to actually melt this butter. How's that look? Good, right? All right, so what I want to do now is I am going to show you how to build these delicious hatch chili burgers. And I almost forgot the queso. Who likes queso? Everybody likes queso, right? So this queso, what I like to make is this, I add, you can see it, you see the specks in there. That's some of this. That's the green chilies. So it's like a green, so I add green chilies inside the queso. So now I got this green chili queso. And you can actually just use that on, I mean, chips, make some nachos with it. I mean, I'm putting it on a burger, all right? And the way I make this queso is you get a pan, or this pot rather, you put a little flour in the bottom, a little butter, right? And you make a roux. You know what a roux is? Okay, I see my Louisiana people over here. Somebody over there, okay. Yeah, so you make a roux, but not a dark roux, not like a dark gumbo roux, right? Roux have like a few stages. You got like a blonde, then you got like a peanut butter color one, and then you got like this chocolate one, which more flavor, more nutty. That's kind of like using like gumbo and stuff. But you just kind of want to whisk it in a pot with a little flour or butter, and whisk it until it's like blonde. You know what I mean? About, yeah, like that. Yeah, okay. And then you add, in the pot, you add your cream, whatever milk you want to use. I mean, you can use heavy cream, half and half, whatever. If I'm making queso, I mean, I'm using heavy cream. You don't have to do that. You can lighten up. You can just use milk. You know what I mean? Or you can use half and half. You get a half and half. So then you bring it up to a simmer, and then it thickens up. And then at that point, it becomes like a bechamel sauce. So there's nothing. It's just cream, like a thick cream. Then at that point, you can make anything out of it. That's when you add your cheese to it. Then it becomes a queso or cheese sauce or whatever you want to do to it. You can add anything to it. So that's what I did. So I added some pepper jack cheese, some roasted chilies, and some Monterey Jack cheese to this. All right, look at that. So now we have that green chili compound butter that has melted over the burger, nice and delicious. And you have the double cheeseburger patty right here, all right? So I am going to go, what should I make first? I'll go queso burger first, since I've been hyping it up. All right, so let's go here. Let's move this here, and then we'll move this back. All right, so the queso burger. I am going to take, you see that? That's flavor. And it doesn't take much, just a little bit. And we'll put the tops of the buns. And you certainly can use any bun that you like. You don't have to use these. I mean, I like, if I'm having a cheeseburger, I don't mind using just the regular buns. You know what I mean? Classic, But if you can get brioche buns or any kind of a buttery type bun, potato rolls are good. They make Martin's brand. If you ever see those buns in the store, those buns are really good as well, okay? All right, so for this green chili queso burger, what I like to do is I'll take one of these patties here. And these some thick burgers. We're in Texas, right? This Texas burgers right here. All right, so now we have 3 there. We'll turn that off. All right. So going over to this queso. we want to add just a little queso like that. And yes, burgers are meant to be messy and delicious, right? All right. So now we got the queso there. In this bowl, those roasted chilies, right? I'm going to show you how to make a little green chili relish, all right? We have those. We have the roasted scallion or green onion. Some people call it green onions. A little finely diced red onion, okay? And that's another thing, too. If you're in the kitchen, you're chopping or you're dicing things, have like a really good knife, right? Invest in a good knife if you can, because, number one, if you have a dull knife, it can be dangerous, right? You're trying to dice something, you're trying to cut a lime, it rolls because the blade is dull, and then it slides and you cut your finger because of a dull blade, right? So you take the time, get you a really sharp blade, and you won't have that problem, all right? So I'm going to squeeze a little lime juice in here, just a little bit. A little lime juice. We're going to take a little red wine vinegar for a little more acid or acidity. Just like on the Food Network, every time you do a show, they always say, oh, I could have used a little more acid. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, yeah. This for you, Food Network. A little more acid. All right. So we have that in there. And we're going to add some chopped parsley, a little chopped cilantro. And we're just going to kind of incorporate that. Now, another thing you can do to this as well, you can certainly add diced avocado to this, right? I've done that before. I've added avocado and made like a avocado relish, if you will. And I've put that on burgers. Came out really good. Or you can add avocado to this and make guacamole. Now you got this green chili guacamole on the chip. It's elevated, right? And if you really want to, you can char the avocados. Just char them. Cut them in half. Get some char marks on them. Add another layer of flavor. Don't cook them. Don't until they melt. Just char them. Let them get that flavor of the grill. And then you dice them up or mash them. Now you got this grilled guac. That's what I call it, grilled guac. All right? So now we have this green chili relish, right? And then to that, just to kind of tone down the heat a little bit, I add just a little honey. Just a little bit. And it adds another little layer of sweetness. And then also a little olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. This olive oil has more flavor. This is like the robust. You see it says robust. I like to use this in marinades or things like that. And this stuff here, Cholula. Don't tell nobody about Cholula. Everybody know about Cholula, right? I like this green Cholula. So it just enhances this just a little bit. And so now, on top of the queso burger, I'm going to add just a little of that green chili relish, just like that. Those pickled red onions, right on like that. Just like that. Now we have the blue corn chips. That's the same burger y'all saw on the flyer, right? It's on the flyer. Where is it? It's up there somewhere. I've been making this burger for a few years now. I had an idea to make a burger just to add a little more Southwest flair to it, and I came up with this. And there you have it. Green chili Southwest cheeseburger. All right, so now the classic cheeseburger coming up. I want to put this over here. That's burger number 1. Now, who's going to make this for the holiday? Who? Oh, you going to make it? Okay. All right. I want to see pictures of it, too. All right. So now we're going to go cheeseburger. And if you don't want to use ground beef, you can certainly just swap it out for ground turkey. Make a ground turkey. Same rendition, same whatever. You can use turkey. If you're not a beef eater, use turkey. Fish is good. Grilled salmon burgers are delicious. Swapped it out with salmon. It's delicious. All right? So now we're going to make some cheeseburgers. So we got 3. And I'm going to add some of that Chipotle spread on the bun. That's the same that's on the sliders that you're eating tonight. It's kind of like the glue. All right. We're going to take some lettuce. You can use whatever kind of lettuce you want. This is just like some bib lettuce. Looks cool. Nice tomato. And if you like cooking burgers at home and kids, like if you have kids love to build burgers. They love to eat them too, but they like this process too. Some of the little classes I teach with kids, we do burgers, we do tacos. They like getting their hands in it and see who can build the biggest burger. We'll just add a little more green to that. All right, so cheeseburger. Going to go over. That's not in and out. All right, so that is, and then at this point, I mean, you can add bacon. I got some bacon here. You can make bacon cheeseburgers if you like. Who doesn't like bacon cheeseburgers? And these are just some classic. Thank you, appreciate it. Cheeseburgers. So if you're having like the holiday coming up, you're having like a get together at the house, or you can certainly do this outside. Everything I've done. The key is, I tell everybody, you don't have to do everything in one day. You can prep if you have time. Prep a little bit. All the things that you see here, I had to prep them ahead of time. So if you prep it like the day before, a couple of days of the day of, you don't have to work as hard. You can just show up, go downstairs, and just pull everything out and just put the burgers together. Simple. It's a lot of work, but if you do it all in one day, it's a lot of work. Prep, steps, right? You know, and once you get up, you put everything together. So we have the queso cheeseburger with green chili relish, pickled red onions, then kind of like the classic American cheeseburger. And if you want to, you can certainly add like pickles. These are some homemade pickles, real quick. I call them quickles because these are like quick pickles. If you don't have a lot of time, get you some cucumber, slice them up, throw them in a container with some vinegar, whatever kind of vinegar you like, distilled apple cider vinegar, whatever you like. some salt, pepper, sugar, some dill, shake it up, and just put it in the refrigerator and forget about it. Or you can go the more lengthy approach is making the pickle brine yourself. Same ingredients, but you bring it up to a simmer on the stove, dissolve everything, and then you pour it over cucumbers. Same with the pickled red onions. These are pickled as well. I pickle these with red wine vinegar. So that's why they turn red like this and real vibrant. So what I do is I take them, you have to slice them, and then I soak them in super hot water. And what that does is it makes the red onion. You see this onion here? So basically, I'll tell you real quick. You see this line, the red, where the red meets the white? By soaking them in hot water for about 20 minutes, it makes this bleed all into one, right? This red will bleed over the white. And then you rinse them, and then you add them to the red wine vinegar, and you let them hang out. So you go from this to this. And then you have more flavor here. This is a bite. It's an onion. It's good, right? But this is pickled. It's kind of like sweet and a little sour, right? We've all had pickled red onions, right? Okay. So this is what we have right here. Pickled red onions. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, ma'am. What is it? I haven't, but I know what it is. Do you use it a lot in place of ghee? Okay, that's a good question. So think about like steak, right? Well done steak, medium rare burger, whatever, right? What I like to do is, or I like to tell people, if you're unsure, and I wish I had my thermometer. So invest in like a meat thermometer, right? $4 or $5, the cheap ones, has a probe on it, digital. A burger this size, or a steak or whatever, chicken, you just probe it. You stick it in, and you will have your temperature will tell you 140 degrees, 145 degrees, kind of like medium well. Anything higher than that is more like well done. If you don't have that, everybody take their hand like this. I'm going to show you a little trick. Y'all probably seen this on Food Network. It works. So if you take your hand and you press here, right, it's tough, right? So that's more like well done. So if you're cooking something and you touch and you're like, oh, it's not, okay, but if you hear the softer part, the more fleshy part is raw, right? It's not cooked all the way. So if you're doing this and you're touching, somebody may look at you kind of weird, like, why are you doing that? But until you get it, you'll kind of know how to gauge the doneness of a thick cut of meat, a burger, or a steak or something like that. And then the middle is kind of like medium. It's kind of like a little tense, but not too much, okay? This is, almost raw, right? Then we have medium, and then we have well done, all right? So, and if you're still unsure, just cut a little bit and look at it, right? Don't tell nobody you did that. But, yes, ma'am. You form it into patties. Now you're making meatloaf. See? That's what I'm talking about. Now you're making meatloaf. That's meatloaf. I get it, though. I know, I understand. But that's kind of like meatloafish, kind of. When you add an egg and all that stuff, you may as well just put that in a pan and bake it and make you some gravy. Or some queso. It may. It already made me smile. But I think when I get like a ring mold, like a mold, right? And I form the patties, right? And then I put them in a mold. It's just like this, but just hollowed. And then you pack it in and you take it off, and you got this perfect burger, right? A perfect crab cake or a perfect burger. You know, I use it for crab cakes and things like that as well because it looks uniform. If I'm doing a private event or something like that, you don't want stuff to look like you just mashed it and it's you know, just out of shape looking. You know, things look uniform. It looks more appealing. Like I said, if you have the time, make the time. You know, and things like this, burgers, you can actually make these patties ahead of time. If you have a vacuum sealer at home, I have one. You don't have to invest in like a very expensive one. You can get like one, like a food saver. Sometimes they have them at Costco for like $60. You can vac seal them and just have them in the freezer. They'll be good for like 6 months or so, right? Just because the vacuum sealer takes all the air out of the patty, and you just keep it. So when you want burgers, it's burger time. Take it out, put your pack of burgers in the fridge, let it thaw out under refrigeration for about 2 to 3 days, and then you got burgers. So it's just forward thinking ahead. You don't have to do everything at once, right? And in my line of work, being a private chef, I have to think ahead all the time. So if I'm making like sauces that I know that take, you know, 5 and 6 hours to reduce, I'm making it in batches and I'm freezing it. These compound butters, I use these. I have a freezer. I have 2 freezers, one dedicated to like sauces and butters. One I have like marinades and things that I make ahead of time because I use it so much. So I'm always opening up, pulling out compound butters. I make 4 or 5 different type of compound butters. I always have on hand because somebody's always calling me to come cook for them. And I have to be ready. So it's all about being ready. Stay ready. You don't have to what? That's right. That's right. Same thing with cooking. All right? Any? I've never used that one. Okay. Marie who? Smoking habanero. Okay. It's gonna smoke up something. I like the sound of that. I might take that and use that slogan for my barbecue. Might smoke up something. All right, one more. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try that one out. Habanero. Cause I like chili, so habanero is up there. Yeah. So, anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, as a pit, a couple days. And the key is the thinner you slice them, the more the vinegar will penetrate, the quicker. Like these are sliced thin, right? So they don't take as long. The thicker ones, you slice them thick, it's going to take a little longer for the vinegar, for the brine to penetrate the pickle and get more flavor out of it. Or if you make pickle spears, you take the whole pickle and you cut it in fours like spears, put them down in a jar or a container or a mason jar or something like that, pickle those. Those, you know, I've never pickled whole pickles, but I can imagine how long those take. They probably take, you know, for a long time, right? So I have no need to do those, but I'm always using these kind of pickles. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so the barbecue rub, the steak rub for the burger patties, and I use the barbecue rub on the sliders that you're tasting, and a little bit of steak rub on the patties. So the steak rub is good on steak, obviously, burgers. It's actually good on pork. My Southwest rub is really delicious on chicken, grilled shrimp, grilled fish, things like that. And a barbecue is pretty much universal. You know, and when I came up with the rubs, what I wanted to do was come up with something that's, custom to signature to me, but, the home cooks. So when they see steak rub, it's like, okay. And then the steak rub has like a little espresso powder, some chilies in it. All of them have chilies, but they're not spicy. You just know that they're there, right? And when you season or when you season something, it blankets, it covers it evenly. And anytime you use a spice rub, you want to season up high. Don't grab it and put it or if you anything, salt, season. If you got a steak and you got it right here, it's gonna go like in one spot. You know what I mean? So season up high. If you got a steak, season up high, let it just fall evenly and cover it. And you have like an even blanket of seasoning. Season both sides. Don't just, I hate one-sided seasoned food. So just rub it on. That's my slogan. That's what it says on the back of the bottle. Just rub it on. I agree. You just rub it on and let it hang out for about 20 minutes. Put it on the grill. Put it in your oven, whatever you're cooking. So, love spice rubs. Spice rubs to me are like, think about a steak real quick or a burger. Spice rubs are like just a quick way to get some flavor into something, and it becomes part of the steak or the burger or whatever you're cooking. It becomes part of it when you're searing. Now it's part of it, and it's ingrained inside of it. So that's what I like. Spice rubs. I like flavor. I like big flavors. I'm from Texas, my Louisiana background, so I love flavor. So we all like flavor, right? We all like flavor, yes. Any other questions? Sir, I think you had a question, right? Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. I saw you looking. That's why I asked you. I kind of knew. I kind of thought you wanted to ask me about the burgers or something. I could tell. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. All right. Any other questions? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It could be. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that as far as why. When you say that one was not good, like what do you mean? Just the overall texture? When you have time, make time. I would probably, the smoked brisket just adds another layer of flavor. You can, like a lot of people, when they make burgers, if they're making a brisket burger or you see brisket burger on the menu somewhere, you won't really see it like this. You will see like where they use raw brisket and ground it to make a patty. So I took it to another step and I added this ground brisket. So when people hear smoked brisket sliders, if they don't know me, they think I'm cutting up some brisket and putting it on a little rolls with pickles and onions. But when they eat it, it's like, oh, where's the brisket? Oh, it's inside the pat, like it's hidden, but you know it's there. You can taste the flavor. You can taste the smoke. You can taste, all of the char and everything from the brisket. And you just grind. So what I do is when I grind the beef, I grind the brisket. I mix it with the raw mixture, and I grind it together in a meat grinder. And I also make sausage with the same stuff. So I make burger patties, slider patties, and I make smoked brisket sausage and smoked brisket boudin out of it. So I get a lot of stuff out of smoked brisket. So that's why I use a lot of brisket. And I'll have Marie Sharp habanero hot sauce, smoking habanero hot sauce for my next event. I'm gonna use that on make some grilled jerk chicken or something with a little mango relish and some, yeah, smoking hot habanero hot sauce. Yeah. So thank you, I appreciate it. So thank you. So I use anytime I'm making chicken skewers or anything I always tell people just use the dark meat. Like don't use chicken breast. I mean chicken breast good, but they need a lot of help. You know what I mean? they're dry, right? The dark meat, the chicken thigh is always juicy. You practically really can't like overcook it. You really can't dry it out because there's so much moisture and flavor in it, right? So that's what I use for that. So I took I get 2 skewers out of 1 boneless chicken thigh. I cut it down the middle, skewer it on the skewer, marinate it, then grill it. So 1 makes two skewers out of it. Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So the ribs, what I did was I put like a marinade on it. 24 hours, some ginger, fresh garlic, some chilies. Think about like Asian flavors. Soy, let it hang out for 24 hours. Next day, smoke them. And then I made the same marinade. I made a glaze out of it. You reduce it on the stove till it gets thick, and then you strain it, and then you put that back on the ribs. Yeah. But another key, if you're using a marinade and you want to impart it back into something that you cook, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to use a marinade if you don't want to. But you have to bring it up. You have to cook it again. You have to, like, reheat it all the way because you're taking raw meat out of it. You feel me? So you have to bring it up to 180, 200, 300. You have to cook it. And then you strain it, and then you have that, and you reduce it till it gets thick again. And now you have this syrup or this sauce that you can glaze your ribs or chicken with again. Yeah, so. Hey, thank you. I have one. If I'm doing like a cooking demonstration or something where teaching grilling indoor if I'm not outside. I haven't used it in a while, but I do have one at home. It's a Phillips. I got it from Williams-Sonoma because I used to do cooking demos at Williams-Sonoma, and I would go in the store and set up just like this, and they would always have me using their products, and they say, "Chef, you want to use this grill?" And I said, "Yeah," and they said, "Well, we have one for you as well." And I used it, and I liked it because it's smokeless. And the way it's designed is when the grease falls through the grate, the burners are out of the way so it doesn't fall and create smoke. So it's pretty cool. It's a Phillips indoor grill. Really nice surface area. No smoke virtually. So it's a well-designed indoor grill. Yeah, so. It's electric. You just plug it up. It has low, medium, high, and your settings, whatever you want to put. And the inside will turn red, like infrared, like, you know what I mean, underneath. They're hidden, yeah. So the grate itself won't turn red, but underneath, and it heats it the way it's designed. So it's a good indoor grill to have if you want to grill. It's nothing like getting outside, though, with the wood and flavor and charcoal and stuff. But if you want to just turn it on, just turn it on. All the time when I'm smoking brisket or chicken, anything that I want to add char and flavor to. And speaking of electric, I do have 2 electric grills at home. I have a Traeger and I have a Masterbuilt grill. Those are my 2 electric ones. One uses charcoal and wood. It's electric. And then I have one that uses wood pellets, which is wood pellets, and it's electric. It's a Traeger. And then I have about 6 or 7 other different vessels, like, all charcoal, like Big Green Egg, Kamado Joe, Weber, different ones like that. Yeah, so it's fun. I teach a lot of grilling classes in my backyard, so it's fun. Meet me out back, MEAT, meet me out back. Yeah, so it's fun.
Well, Chef Ken.
Yes, ma'am.
We could be here all night. We love you.
I sure can.
Great job.
Thank you.
Let's
you.
give
Thank
Chef
you for having me.
a round of applause.
Thank y'all for coming out. I really, really appreciate y'all coming out and enjoying this presentation and enjoying the food that I cook. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay, so we're no longer live streaming, right? We need everyone to like us on DFW
Healthcare Foodies.
So
DFW
go
Healthcare Foodies.
like us. So DFW Healthcare Foodies. And tonight, Chef Ken is going to give away a private